Welcome to my video on the conservation database. We're going to be focused on managing trees, tree inventories. So we're concerned about the year 2018. St. William's Nursery has a large stock order and a seedling order. Somerville has a seedling order, and there's other nurseries with other orders. So we look at the inventory. We have the tree types. This is the seedling inventory. This is the large stock inventory. Okay. We have different types of trees, what the inventory we ordered for the year is, how many have been assigned to projects, and the balance. So we're short of American elderberry. We need to order another 133, etc. So you'd look at this when you're planning a new order and to see what type of trees you could put on it. Now, if you add a new nursery order or you add a new project, you would click on these buttons and that would update these numbers with the changes. Okay, so let's look at a pickup. So I'm going to go to landowners. It's going to be a large stock pickup by Linda. And under the large stock tab, we had an order that she placed for 15 large stock trees. Now, we would print out all the invoices and have them waiting for the pickup day. So this would be a sample of one of the invoices. So it has the pickup location for this tree, the cost, and it just generates the invoice. So this would be handed to them to help them pick out their trees and given to them so they can pay. This would be customized at the top for your conservation authority. She also had a project, but I want to look at a different project. So I'm going to go all the way back to the project tabs. Now it shows some quotes at the top. These don't affect inventory because they're just quotes, but if they do have a 2018 designation, they do affect this year's inventory. So let's look for the Urca, this one I looked at earlier, so let's take a look at it. It's got some seedlings, and you can of course add to this order. When you pick something, it shows you the remaining balance of what you're picking. Okay, it has some large stock. I just put in 5 elderberry. Has some information. We went and took a look at it. Rob Davies did. And this would come in after we actually did the planning, but it's already in here now. So this is the results of the notes from the planning day. There was no seeding. Okay, so we're planning on this. We want to send this back to the landowner. So one of the first things we do is initial project plan. It would have the extra things that we're charging, like mowing between rows and stuff. This is an internal project, so there's not going to be grants. So the no grant thing is checked off. So let's print the project plan. It lists the seedlings, the cost, the American elderberries, the cost, the preparation, and the owner contribution would be things that the owner would do instead of us, but there's no owner in this case, so there's a balance. Okay. So the day that we'd go out there, we need instructions to the tree planting crew, so we'd have the tree planting work order summary. This wouldn't be filled up at the top. These would be blank boxes, so they would be handwriting in on this, and they wouldn't fill in the lot numbers. Well, I'm sorry, they would fill in the lot numbers, but it wouldn't be filled in at the time. So this is what they're told to pick up for the planting. Here's your large stock, and it would just say 5 elderberry. It wouldn't be broken down. I'll talk about that later. And then as they pick them up, they would note the lot number on this piece of paper for entry later. Okay, so this is going to help them plant. When they're done planting, which is in this case it's kind of like done, they can go in and they can enter the details of where they got their trees from. Like, so for instance, this was a lot number verb 190, 2-gallon pot, and this was from a different source. And they got 3 from one and 2 from the other. I just made that up. But the seedlings, if you look at the white pine, there's no details on that. The sycamore is from a lot that's called 13B. There's more information about that, but that'll just tie it into where the trees were gotten from. So in case in the future there's problems with the trees, we can trace back where they came from. Okay, so here's the summary, and on this summary you would see the information that you entered in about the lots. I didn't enter in all the information, but some of the trees came from Somerville, the elderberries came from Winkle-Molen, and this nursery here. And that's something you can always look back in the future and see. Because in the future you might do a survival assessment a couple years later. You can go through and survey your 10 trees per row and put that information in here. And you could do a planning quality summary. The assessor would come in and put that. I'll go in detail on that in another video. This one wasn't done. I'm going to end there for the first video.